Hi, hello everybody. I hope everyone is doing well. Trying to get my little Pip here on my shoulder. He might have to go on the other shoulder in a second, but hope everyone is doing well and welcome. Okay, yeah, sorry, buddy. This guy is just gonna have to sit on this shoulder. Lovely little magnet here. But yes, hi everybody. Welcome to the last episode for 2019. Yes, I know we're still only in November, but I will get into that in a second. But first of all, just want to welcome everybody into the chat. Hope everyone is doing well tonight. Hello. So we got Rural, we got Rez, we got me too. I think I saw Jam Transmissions, who is new into the chat. Welcome. Chris King, hello. Yeah, just kind of saying what's going on. So again, thank you very much for your patience. Apologies that this did not happen last night. I got a bit held up in the day job, and like I kind of said, it just would have taken way too long and things like that. But lots to talk about. It's tricky because has everybody in chat seen The Mandalorian? I wanted to speak about it briefly, but I know I sometimes have some UK viewers as I'm UK myself, and I don't want to spoil anything. So I'll kind of wait to see if you guys say yay or nay kind of thing. But first things first, I'm a little bit late to the party, but how exciting is Jedi Fallen Order? It seems to have gone down really well. I haven't yet to be able to play it because it is actually kind of secretly my Christmas/birthday present, so I have to wait until the 22nd of December. But good things come to those who wait, kind of thing. But let's kind of see what you guys are saying in chat here. Let's see here. I can say we all here have seen it. Yes. Oh, Pete. Hi. um Cool. Okay. So, yeah, Jedi Fallen Order. It's funny. I remember when The Force Unleashed came out, and I was very excited for the game. I actually was probably one of like 10 people in freezing Aurora, Colorado at the time, waiting in line at GameStop for its midnight release. And so I'm a big fan of that game. So when I heard about Jedi Fallen Order, I was so excited to have almost, God, nearly 10 years and 12 years later a next gen kind of game. But what I like is it looks like the Force is more balanced. And there's a great video by Alex Damon on Star Wars Explained that I think he actually dropped today, talking about how video games for Jedi Fallen Order didn't make it like too video gamey. It kind of kept in with the canon of the Force. I literally watched about 30 seconds of it, and then he was like, spoilers. I'm like, okay, turn off. So yeah, I unfortunately had to do that, but I'm really happy to see a video game being received well. I do know, I mean, I as someone who does stream Battlefront, I know Battlefront 2, I guess I should say, really had kind of a difficult launch with the loot box and things. I would definitely say now they've really got the formula down pat, and I really encourage anybody to start that. I mean, obviously now we have Jedi Fallen Order, but for kind of like group play and things like that, and that's something I'll bring up later tonight in kind of my 2020 outlook on what's going to come from PCGE in the meantime. But if you're kind of watching this on the recap or you're coming in new, this is Postcards from the Galaxy's Edge live. Sometimes it is a podcast, sometimes it's a live stream. It just kind of depends. This time, usually if I have guests or co-pilots, they will that will be more of a bog standard kind of show when it's just myself. I just kind of live stream because I seem to be able to just chat better on a live stream for some reason. But yes, and what we have is also every show is broadcast from a canon planet. And actually, this is a Patreon planet because Rural Farm Boy is my second patron. So he chose the planet of Dantooine. And usually I have the lovely Jerry who does a canon facts. He did do the canon facts for me, but sadly I accidentally overwrote my postcard animation that you saw earlier today, and it just was not going to get done in time. So I'm just going to tell you the canon facts. The interesting thing about Dantooine, it's, of course, we know, was mentioned in A New Hope. and things like that. Where I was introduced to Dantooine, kind of going in that vein of video games, is it was very much prominently a planet to go to in Knights of the Old Republic, KOTOR and KOTOR 2, and things like that. So this is it's kind of like the Jedi Enclave. It's kind of, I believe, the beginning of the Jedi. And but the funny thing is, since the new canon, there's not a lot of canon facts about it, judging by Jerry's intro or thing he did. That it was mentioned in Rebels, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm hoping it might be mentioned in Jedi Fallen Order. I don't know. Maybe you guys can tell me in the chat. But yes, it's going to KOTOR. Like, that was also my first kind of Star Wars game ever. I remember it came on 4 discs, 4 CD-ROMs, and now it's insane. I can play it on my iPad on the train commuting in, and I do live stream it. Right now, I unfortunately am stuck trying to shoot TIE fighters. And let me tell you, trying to do it on a laptop is very difficult. I think I'm going to have to get a mouse just to get past this level, because it's ridiculous. I had to stop the live stream because it was a bit embarrassing when you're seeing somebody fail on the same level over and over. And of course, because it's an old school game, it takes, when you die or whatever, it literally takes you back to the main menu. So yeah, it's a bit, I'm waiting to pass that part, and then I'll start live streaming it again. But I would love to see it get a next gen, or a real engine or something upgrade, because that would be very cool. But hi Stuart, welcome. Yeah, I understand, Stuart. I think, Stuart, now I asked guys, you haven't seen The Mandalorian yet, have you? Because if you haven't, I'll just do a very broad. The unfortunate thing is, like, I'm glad I kind of through some industry context, got a copy, but I mean, I would have had a lot of things already spoiled, but I still want to try to prevent any spoilers and things. But yeah, but first we'll go back to Jedi Fallen Order. So it looks great. What I also love is I did a okay, he's seen it. Thank you, Roll. um um so I had done a Patreon exclusive kind of talking about Resistance Reborn, um basically recap of the book and just kind of chatting about it. And what I love is one of the planets that is mentioned in the book apparently is the level with the big sarlacc pit looking thing. It's not a sarlacc pit though. Forgive me, I forget the name. But it's in Jedi Fallen Order. So I am loving seeing this interconnectivity of books to video games to everything. I understand some of the criticisms where people don't think that there might be a plan or a vision, but they're starting to really connect. Also, in Resistance Reborn, there was a connection to characters from Battlefront 2 campaign. I mean, it's really starting to interconnect. So that's very exciting. But God, there's so much to talk about. So I'm trying to kind of. So yes, Jedi Fallen Order. It's going to be great. I'm definitely going to be streaming that, but it won't be until 2020. So I guess let's get out of the way. Let's talk about December. I will be having a content map like I usually do, but December is a very interesting month because this time next week I'm actually going to be in Orlando. I'm going to be at my namesake at Galaxy's Edge. Let's see if I don't knock the laptop over. I've got a shirt I'm so excited about. I'll try to show you guys. So it's the forget I'm mirrored here. Obviously the old school kind of Disney castle, but then with the Galaxy's Edge, and says Chewie, we're home. And yes, I will be taking a picture with my built lightsaber in front of the Millennium Falcon with this shirt. That being said, I'm going to be really out of the loop pretty much most of December, because by the time I get back, I go to work for like 3 days and then I'm on Christmas break. But there is still some stuff coming. So depending on kind of how the footage goes, because obviously I am on holiday, I will definitely though try to at least do kind of a video kind of showing the highlights of Galaxy's Edge, kind of like a montage at the minimum, because I want to enjoy the experiences too. So I mean, I'm probably gonna be bawling like building my lightsabers. I already have it all picked out. I'm gonna do elemental, and I already know what color I want, and I'm gonna get a blue crystal and a red crystal because next year when I start doing the Choose Your Side live streams for video gaming, that's something that you guys can vote on is what color the lightsaber lit behind me will be. That's the plan. So that's one of the things. So in December, there won't be kind of a traditional kind of episodes like this or anything like that. So in the beginning of December, you're going to get kind of a lot on my Instagram and Twitter. I'm going to post lots of photos from Galaxy's Edge and things like that. And then in on the 18th into the 19th of December, I'm going to a triple bill of The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and then The Rise of Skywalker because yes, people in the UK, we get it a day early. So people enjoying The Mandalorian early in the States, we get Rise of Skywalker here in the UK. I obviously will not post any spoilers, but I'll kind of between the screenings kind of just live stream a little bit on Periscope or on Twitter. I think they're kind of interconnected. But so that will also be kind of some content in December. So there's definitely content coming. It's just not going to be kind of this platform and things. But in 2020, though, everything kicks back off with Pasana, where I'm going to have John Hoey from Resistance Broadcast, and we're going to talk about kind of what happens now. The Skywalker saga is over. Now what happens with this new kind of cusp and things. So yes, lots. It's going to be exciting. Yeah. So let's kind of see what you guys are saying in chat. So this is awesome. Let's see what we got here. Okay, cool. So he's seen it. Yes, I've heard about this like remake the Christmas special. Yeah, I so yeah, kind of dovetailing into The Mandalorian. So, as I've kind of said in previous episodes, I was working on The Lion King, which was a Jon Favreau project, while he was filming season 1 of The Mandalorian. And man, that man, he's great because he would chat, but he never gave away anything because he obviously knew he didn't know who's on the other end of these phone calls. So I'm sitting there going, come on, say something, just spill something. And he never did. But so I guess I have a lot of respect for him because I've worked, when I say worked for him, I'm not saying like we literally sat in the same room, but like he shook my hand once, things like that. But I have a lot of respect for Jon Favreau's projects and things, and kind of hearing the attention to detail and care he had for The Lion King. I'm so fascinated, and also kind of hearing him talk at Celebration about The Mandalorian. What I love about him the most is he knows when to use a lot of technology. So, say The Lion King with the virtual production and things like that. This is why it's not an animated film. I posted that on my personal Twitter explaining what virtual production is. It's a great video. Save it for a chat another time. But then I knew because he took that love and care that the Mandalorian, I didn't even know what to expect. Even walking out of the Celebration panel, what we're getting is not the impression I got, and I'm not disappointed in the slightest. But I knew there was just going to be a lot of care and detail, and I have been so pleasantly surprised. I knew I was going to enjoy it, and not just because it's Star Wars, because just because the Star Wars name is on it does not mean I'm necessarily going to like it. I'm not as critical as some of my peers. However, I'm also not, I don't care, I just love anything kind of thing. But yeah, let's just kind of break it down. So episode 1, a lot of that we had seen at Celebration. It was a clever edit because the way we saw him leave about kind of the bail jumpers and getting the pucks from the Carl Weathers, that's when you saw the Salacious Crumb on the spigot. But as we know in the actual episode, that comes after he's seen the Werner Herzog character and things. But I mean, yeah, let's just get out of the way. Baby tiny, like, yeah. Oh, me too. So yeah, rural knows that I work in visual effects, and I work in visual effects in London, and I'm really hoping to work because a lot of the Disney Plus visual effects are going to be done in London, not exclusively to ILM because I thought they would be, but no, there's just so much like content being made that ILM cannot handle it in total, so it's going to kind of go out to the other big ones. But yeah, I am secretly hoping that I can get on either season 2 The Mandalorian or Cassian Andor or Obi-Wan or anything, really, anything, just to say I worked on Star Wars once. So yeah, it was funny because like people asked me why didn't I try to work at ILM sooner and things. One, because I didn't feel I had the skills quite yet to say yes, I could work for you. And two, I really genuinely did not want the sequel trilogy ruined for me. Like, I'm seeing stuff at work for some other Disney properties that I'm just like, okay, well, I kind of had that moment ruined. So that's, especially working in editorial, you see all the edits and the works in progress. So you get a lot of things kind of spoiled for you. So I was like, I don't want anything. The minute I saw The Force Awakens, I was hooked. I was in love. I was like, yeah, don't want this ruined in the slightest. So yeah, but now that that's done and it's TV, that's okay. But anyway, that was a bit of a tangent. But so yeah, no, good old Nick. So that he was my Mustafar episode, and actually the first live stream I ever did with a guest and everything. So that was definitely fly by the seat of your pants. I've learned so much kind of doing these live streams, but I know they're recruiting, but I don't know if they're recruiting for what I do. So I have some emails to write, but I'm currently working on a really cool Netflix show that I think you guys are really going to enjoy. But sorry, we're not talking about me. We're talking about Star Wars. Anyway, so The Mandalorian. Yeah, I really enjoyed the use of the practical and the visual, which I guess I guess going back to work, I worked on the Dark Crystal for 9 months, and that is a beautiful blend of visual and practical. I know right now a lot of things are saying, oh, it's practical, it's practical. Yes, a lot of it is very much practical, but there are definitely visual effects helping extend the worlds and things. And so seeing that then being applied to the Mandalorian, like for example, I can tell what everyone's lovingly called Ugnulty is pretty much you have a body performer, then you have an animatronic mask. So these here are real because that's one of the hardest things to get in a what we call a digi double is the eyes are so difficult. So that's real. And then I bet you, this is now speculation, I don't have this confirmed, but it's what they call facial augmentations, where they will in visual effects kind of just slightly tweak so you can get more of like a smirk and the more subtleties of facial expressions that you can't get on an animatronic puppet. So of course, obviously, then Tiny is a puppet. And for those who don't listen to the Resistance broadcast, Tiny is an acronym that stands for This Is Not Yoda. So Tiny, oh my God, my heart melts. And I guess why I'm so pleasantly surprised was I didn't realize we were going to have such these tender scenes. Like, they're really beautiful to see, like, this really rough and hardy man have this soft spot, and he doesn't even know it yet, but has this soft spot for this child, and I love it. Love it. Like, I just thought The Mandalorian was going to be like, hoo-ha, guns, blazing, which was fine. I was like, hey, I can take that, but I'm loving the stillness, the moments that there is these stillness. What are you guys feeling, thoughts, criticisms? Let's have a conversation because I'm so excited to have you guys in the chat. So let's start with episode 1. Likes, dislikes. Go. um are we free to say the name? I have to remember that, like, when I'm reading, like, you can't hear me, so sorry. I don't know, did they say Tiny's name? I have a guess that it's going to be with a Y. If we have Yaddle, Yoda, Yiddy, I don't know, but I don't know. We got Little Pip, but I don't know who it would be, he would be called. I don't know if I'd like that, but I'm really scared because it's been such a secret what Yoda's like alien species is called. I don't want it to be like, is that it? Is that what they're called? You know what I mean? Because there's so, like you almost have all this headcanon 42 years in your head. You're just like, oh, you don't want it ruined. But Baby Yoda. Yeah. Because that's true. We don't know what his species is called. It's like, yeah. But I loved the IG-11. Absolutely loved the IG-11. I loved everything about the visual effects about it because obviously the original IG-88 was bolted to the floor. So to see his walk cycle, and it's a very subtle thing, but sorry, the visual effect nerd in me, I love when he walks over the body because his knees don't bend, his hip actually rotates. So the leg goes over that way. It's such a subtle little thing, but the visual effect nerd in me was like, that's cool. And I just love the humor where it was just like self-destruct mode and like you don't even see it's all in the body. That kind of performance is very theater, again, very Jon Favreau. Um I just love that. No, stop it. Like like really what is up with this guy? I'm gutted if we're only going to see him in one episode, but I'm thinking that's kind of how it's going. I mean, we got what, episode 4 coming on Friday, and it's like there's only, I think, what, guys, 8, 10. So he maybe not be coming back. um it was I just loved it. I mean, I remember when we saw it in Celebration, like the just room went nuts. Just absolutely nuts. But yeah, I love that he looks puppeted. I mean, I bet you again it's a half and half for the like the kind of mid shots. That might be an actual puppet, but I love the way the face moves and the facial expressions, and I love that the whole this is acceptable. Um well, that's what I'm hoping, Stuart. I'm hoping he'll return because I mean, it's like they always set it up. That's the other thing. This show is clever. They tell you enough kind of thing. And he said bounty droid. So obviously we have an 88. So obviously there's multiple series of them. But yeah, I really enjoyed that moment. Like it was awesome, bang 'em, shoot 'em up, but I loved the humor in it, and it was a good blend of humor. Because I know sometimes there's that debate on what's Star Wars humor and then what's more Marvel humor, and if it falls flat kind of stuff. And I feel they've just nailed it. I'm very happy. So 8 episodes. Okay, so yeah, ooh, we're almost halfway through. I would say my only slight criticism, and I think this is kind of the general consensus, is they feel it's not that they feel short. I guess I just want more. But I have to, I guess the business side of me is like, okay, this is like a $2 million episode per episode budget. So I mean, I think that's what it was, something like 2 million per episode or something. So I mean, uh, I just I'm happy with what I have. I think the only other thing is the music. The intro is definitely stuck in my head now, like the main theme. But some of the other choices are just, I guess, almost a bit too ethereal for me. So I don't know. It's tricky. It's growing on me, but I guess just I'm so classic John Williams that it's like, okay. Oh, I guess that's a very good point. So, Rural Farm Boy just said there is a clip with IG-11 answering Cara Dune, unless it's a clever edit, where he says, "Who are we waiting for?" IG says, "The Mandalorian." So maybe. Oh wow, 10 to 15 million per episode. Yeah, that's a big difference. 2 million's just the catering. Thank you to made two. Um, so okay, that's so even more like this is a heavy chunk of change. But I love the ship. I love the ship because it's a real model. And I'm really sorry that keeps coming into a visual effect discussion. I don't mean to too much, but yeah, I guess that's kind of my unique point on Star Wars. But I like that it's a real ship because also things about visual effects that what makes it so hard to get it to look real is actually lighting, the false lighting, the 3D rendering of light is actually very difficult. So when you have a model, you get a better light. You don't have to do as many lighting passes because it's naturally there. So all you need to, well, I say this lightly, all you need to do is put kind of the afterburner thing. So it looks real. It looks tangible. You don't look at it and go, because our eyes now, because of video games and the modern era of visual effects, we kind of can go, oh yeah, that's CG. So it's great. And I love that it's taking the old school kind of disciplines and bringing it into something fresh. And so that way those because those models are so detailed and the craftsmanship, that it's great that it's not a dying art. Do you know what I mean? Kind of thing. But let's see here. Yes, I've seen that, Stuart. It's tricky. Like I saw that with the I'm calling that on the on your left shots. But yeah, apparently the Razor Crest is in there, but I've been kind of looking at it and I don't know. However, they may have hinted, they kind of may have alluded that maybe it's not the actual Razor Crest. However, his ship is pre-Empire, and there are some other, I think, pre-Empire ships in that massive lineup. So maybe it's not the Razor Crest, but it's some, I don't know. But that's kind of like saying that ship there is not the Ghost. It's just something else. But yeah. Okay, so Michael, gotcha. That's the tricky thing. I'm trying to learning everybody's like real names to their handle names. So okay, cool, Michael. um so that kind of goes into episode 2 of The Mandalorian, and I absolutely loved the Sandcrawler. Like the Jawas, I just every episode there's like something different that's just kind of like, oh my god, I wasn't expecting this, or and just the humor. And I guess I I wasn't a fan of Solo when I first saw it because I felt it was too fan servicey. Like when Beckett took out the outfit that Lando Calrissian later wears, I just there was just some things that it just felt like they were trying too hard. But it's interesting because I don't get that vibe with The Mandalorian when there is a lot of fan service. So it's tricky because fan service, in my opinion, is not a bad thing. It's just finding that balance. So I don't know, and but I love like the Jawas say scream the same thing when it's like all of them shooting and he falls down. And I also love that like this, you know, little baby Yoda is following him in this little egg as he's running. Is like he obviously has like no thought. He's like, oh crap, I gotta get my parts for the ship. But I also like that we see he gets the snot beat out of him a lot. Like when he's fighting the Mudhorn, which we learned the beast's name in episode 3, that I mean his armor is getting destroyed. And it's also kind of cool to see what the armor looks like on the other side, because as someone who's trying to be a prospective member of the Mandalorian Mercs, I've had my costume and character all decided got a year ago, which ironically enough, the color scheme of my armor is a lot like the Mandalorian, but the underpart, ironically, is a lot like Cara Dune. But I promise you, I can prove it on the message boards. I had this design like, God, September of last year. So I mean, it's been around for a while. But anyway, I like that you're kind of seeing the text, and also how cute was that him trying to heal him kind of scene. And he's just so little. He just is like, nope, bloop. It's like me going to Pip here, kind of like, you know, Pip's trying to heal me, and I'm like, nope, back in your little basket, poof. And it's just those little moments are just love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Um, oh, so yeah, sorry, Anthony. No, I meant to, and this is actually something that I'm hoping to do in the 2020 content, is I want to try to get into cosplay. Though the funny thing is, I can't stitch to save my life, but I'm going to teach myself, and I was going to go make like a YouTube kind of show about it, you know, called From the Armory or something. I don't know. But now that I've seen, I think she's called the Armorer, or whoever the blacksmith Mandalorian is. Oh, I'm totally doing that one too. Like that helmet, like it's almost like a centurion, like gladiator helmet with the little spikes, and oh yeah. So there's just so much, and I'm really excited because I know like the Mando Mercs, everyone talks about the 501st, which they should because they're a fantastic costume group. But the Mandalorian Mercs, I think they're gonna get a real uptick in their costume applications and things. And the thing about the Mandalorian mercs, you have a bit more kind of creative freedom because you can do kind of screen accurate runs, but then you can do your own kind of thing. So mine is my character's name is Montera Mare, which I will a whole nother episode explain. It's taking Latin and basically getting sea and earth, and yeah, I'll have to explain it another time. But yes, there's a lot of thought there. But yeah, the 501st obviously are more making something as screen accurate as possible. So you don't really have that ability to be creative, whereas the Mando Mercs you can. And I think I liked that as kind of my first one. But I have so many that I kind of go back and forth. I want to be a Knight of Ren. I want to do the Sith, the one that's got like the squares on his helmet and has the sickle and kind of the coat and things. I guess I'd like characters that I can put a helmet on so you don't know it's me kind of thing, but I'm very short. I'm 5'4" and a bit heavier. So it's yeah, kind of obvious who I am, but yeah. So anyway, that's definitely another plan hopefully for the 2020 content, because I think obviously once the Mandalorian's done, kind of Star Wars news and things slow down. But yeah, I just I loved the Jawas wanting the egg, and yeah, ugh, it makes me quote C3PO filthy. Ugh. Yeah, Jawas just ugh. Um let's see what else is going. Cool. And then yeah, I guess we just kind of I just saw episode 3. Oh, yeah, the egg was just that egg was weird. Like I know it's supposed to be weird because it's Star Wars, but like it being like fur or like hair, like it was. I also that was a mother protecting his baby, and I was just like, Jawas, you're jerks. But oh, that's a good point. Okay, that's yeah, that Baby Yoda doesn't. Maybe he doesn't know how to speak basic and things. I also love. I can. I've now watched enough Star Wars and things. I can pick out Huttese. Like I knew that first guy, Yokula. Oi, ma. You basically, hey, Mando, and all that. I was like, ooh, that's Huttese. Like I'm finally actually noticing. I don't notice. I can't like recognize the words, but I can tell. That it is Huttese just by kind of the pacing and things. So yes, I'm proper in the realm of nerddom now. Never was able to speak Klingon in Star Trek or anything like that, but yeah, I'm starting to be able to recognize Huttese. So yeah. um, but yeah, and then I guess episode 3, which is the only one I've only watched once, because the rest of them, because they're so short, I watch them on the train, because my train ride is about an hour and 15 minutes from London to where I live, and vice versa, so I can like practically watch 2 episodes or anything on the train. But I love I love that there's this moment in the beginning where you're like, is he going to give, because I'm like, I was, my initial kind of speculation was because they made a point of kind of saying in the first episode proof of extermination is also acceptable. I was like, oh, maybe they're gonna fake Baby Yoda's death and he's gonna drop him off at the camp where we see Cara Dune and the other woman and blah 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 blah, but obviously that didn't happen. So that's, I love also little Easter egg, the rest of the armor kind of bricks or whatever, the steel, is an ice cream maker that that guy famously was running with in Empire Strikes Back. So that was quite cool. So there is a lot of those kind of things where it's like, yeah, if you're not a diehard fan, it doesn't matter. But then people like us were just kind of like, oh, we went there. So I love that he got some shiny new armor, and it's also really cool. We saw more Mandalorians, and I didn't catch it. I have to watch it again. I didn't realize the one that's kind of bullying the Mandalorian is actually Jon Favreau's voice. I don't know if that's Jon Favreau's body, but it definitely think it might be his voice. Is she? I really hope she is in this next episode. So Anthony just said that Cara Dune is coming up. I keep going, when is my girl coming in? Because that's another one. I think that's the only costume I think I would try to do that doesn't have a helmet. Obviously, I'd have to wear a wig because my hair is not dark brown. But I like that she's. When I say a bigger lady, I guess I don't mean as in like fat or heavy. Like because she's a former MMA fighter. Like I was watching some of her fights on the bus this morning. But yeah, I cannot wait to see Gina Carano. And I really want her to do well because I know I heard some people saying at Celebration, why'd they cast her? She's a crap actress. Yeah, but sometimes you need that good push to get you into the right role and things. So I really. Yeah, and she just seems like it's so amazing. She seems like such a gentle person. So she's of this massive mixed martial artist, but she's what I say, I'm not criticizing, but she's not like a big personality like Ronda Rousey is. So she seems very like almost shy and quiet. I was not expecting that when she started talking and things, but oops. But yeah, I cannot wait. I really cannot wait. Um so yes, I am a big boned. Yeah, I guess you could say that. But yeah, she's just tough. She's yeah. I don't know. I don't want to say husky. Huskies is bad, but yeah, I'm excited and it's cool and I cannot wait for her kind of introduction kind of thing. But so yeah, episode 3 basically I love that he has this moment and he sits on the ship. He's about to go and he looks down and that little I love and these are these tender moments that I'm talking about that he looks at the ball that's now missing off. I guess that's I don't know if that's to put him into the hyperdrive or what. It's definitely an ignition of some kind. But it's just those little moments that are just amazing. So I love that he has it. Pardon me, but he has kind of a fuck it, and he's gonna just get some business done. And I love it. Like you can even just tell in like the way he tilts his head, like what he's got, what he's thinking. It's very much kind of the cowboy hat, but with the helmet kind of thing. So yeah, that was pretty badass. But but so what else? Yeah, that's not a toy. Yeah, that was great. And then I love that later he gives it to him in the end. But so yeah, that's pretty much so far the Mandalorian. I'm loving it. I'm really glad that I have some connections, so I'm able to see it. It's a shame that it's like we have to go these back, but I think the thing is, it's something to do with Sky. It's not Disney. Like that's the tricky thing. It's not Disney making a mistake. It's Sky and the rights with that and all that kind of thing. So, I mean, that's why I don't think we even really got a date till the very last minute because I think they were trying to agree on a release date kind of thing. But it's okay. We we go. So now talking on to another big thing. Oh my God! All these clips from the Rise of Skywalker, like ah. I can't even break them down, all of them. There's like another one that I saw posted on Twitter today where it's like I'm waiting for the Star Wars. I don't do very well like watching people filming the screen because half the time they've kind of missed the beginning part or you don't get the same effects. But I uh, I I love that we're seeing there's a lot of jumping. Rey, it's funny. Rey cries a lot in The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. She does a lot of jumping in Rise of Skywalker. We see her jump a gap in the jungle. We see her jump a gap in like the Death Star ruins. We see her jump over a TIE fighter. We now see her jump from a ship to the Millennium Falcon, which part of me is kind of going, how does that work? But hey, it's Star Wars. Yeah, I did, Chris. Going back to Chris asked, did anyone else immediately think choke hazard when they let him play with part of the handle? Yes, because I'm thinking he ate a frog bigger than that in the second episode. So yes, and I'm not even a parent yet. So yes, I was thinking about choke hazards, things like that. But yeah, the tricky thing also is some of those TV spots I saw on like Twitter or Instagram, and the way they're doing it, and actually Premiere has a new Adobe Premiere has it to where now you can re-rack your videos so they look good, but they're in more of a square. So we see her jump, but it wasn't until it got released on YouTube I didn't realize you actually see Finn with the mask from the Empire that they wore in like The Empire Strikes Back trying to get her. So yeah, I still I don't even know what to think of this film. I'm happy to see the Knights of Ren. I'm yeah, I can't even begin to speculate anymore. Like I can't even keep up. That's why there's not another Speculation Nation stream because I'm just like I can't even. I just I'm getting to the point where it's like, you know what, I don't even want to speculate anymore. I just want to see it. So we're not far now. We're less than a month away. So I'm very excited. But what were some of the kind of things you guys saw in the TV spots that made you go, "Oh, okay." Oh, I will say, hand up, when I did a Speculation Nation, I think of the D23. No, well, not the D23 of the last trailer. Um, I said nope, nope, that's not Darth Vader's mask. Blah blah blah. I was wrong. That is because I guess I was saying there was that footage they showed at D23 that wasn't released to the public, but some people showed of what looked like a drawer opening Vader's mask, which I think they've cleverly reversed that and actually he's smashing it. So I guess I was thinking why would it be on a pedestal like that, but in another shot you clearly see the little part here. So I will hand on heart, I was wrong. I still say that's not a Knight of Ren that he's killing in the teaser, but I could be wrong about that too. But yes, I would definitely say Rose Rose is gonna kick some ass. I'm really excited. And I really like I keep saying I really would like to see a scene between her and Ray, you know, where it's like women don't always have to kind of be competing and things. A little spoiler to Resistance Reborn, it's interesting. They kind of dismissed both. They basically in the book someone I don't know if someone's talking to Finn. I'm not sure who. Maybe it's Poe actually, where he's like, "Oh, it is Poe." Basically, Finn and Ray are having a very intimate conversation, and Poe just kind of walks in, and Ray just kind of leaves, and Poe's like, "Are you guys like?" And Finn's like, "Oh no, 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 mate, we're just friends." He's like, "Are you and Rose?" And he was like, "Oh no, that was just kind of a spur of the moment." So it's interesting, like they like squash like two interests for Finn right there. But if you're a Storm Pilot fan, there's a wonderful moment in there with a tie, and that's not as naughty as I'm meaning it to sound. But I digress. Anyway, yes. So yeah, Anthony agrees with me. It's not a Knight of Ren. That's another thing I kind of broke down in one of my Speculation Nation kind of things. I actually think it's the person we see in the Force back because it looks very similar. Like where we see Rey is around the Knights of Ren, and how great would that be? A back to one where it comes to fruition. It was a premonition and it comes to fruition kind of thing. But yeah, so I'm really I can't wait to see the Knights of Ren. I don't think they'll probably get a lot of screen time, but I'm very much looking forward to the comic book coming out, The Rise of Kylo Ren, where it's kind of talking about it because they just kind of released recently that actually the Knights of Ren are before Ben Solo was Kylo Ren, so I'm that kind of put an interesting spin on things, but yeah, I yes, that yeah, I like that part. I can't tie a tie because I listen to Resistance Reborn as an audio book because I'm very dyslexic, and so I can obviously read, but I don't really read for fun because I can read about 3 pages, then all of a sudden I've realized I've just been going through the motions and I haven't comprehended any of it. So I've and also the Star Wars audiobooks, if anyone's ever not listened to them, they're proper well productions. There's sound effects, there's music, like it's yeah, and I actually found myself laughing at these moments, but then I was actually I remember where I was on the train when this whole part of the book happened, and yeah, it's a really tender moment because yeah, of course Finn's not gonna know how to tie a tie. He's a bloody stormtrooper before then, so it was a really cool moment and things. But oh, that's an interesting. So Stuart just said for the Knights of Ren, he believes that they're force sensitive bounty hunters, inquisitors, but kill. They just kill, never capture. Interesting. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know a lot about the Inquisitors, which, and I think that's what's in Jedi Fallen Order. The like the sisters, the second sister, ninth sister, or something. I think that's a Rebels thing. And once I get Disney Plus, I promise I'll catch up with my Rebels in Clone Wars because I've never seen it. I know all the spoilers, but never seen it. um, yeah. So that's an interesting take. I like that. I like that. I also think I have a theory. Our introduction to Kylo Ren, it will be the mask getting put together, and then so it's almost like a montage. You'll see like the mask being put together, and then you'll see the Knights of Ren because they I think the various photos from magazines like Rolling Stone and things like that show that they're in that same room. And then I think I just saw in the latest TV spot that I'm waiting to see on the YouTube that you see Kylo finishing putting the helmet on. So I think that's how we'll that's our introduction to him for this movie, which I think that's I don't have a Kylo Ren pop Funko Pop yet, and I'm definitely getting the one with the cracked mask because that's pretty badass. But sorry. Matt Martin said there are more than 12, so at least 14 maybe. Sorry, what are we talking about, guys? Oh, Inquisitors. I see. Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. That's a lot. So, yeah, there's still so much Star Wars lore. I thought I knew quite a bit. I'm still learning so much. Oh yes, so definitely gonna get the one Knight of Ren that I want to hopefully cosplay. I think I can't even say it. It's like Scythe. It's like Cythe. So it's like the sickle kind of one, but yeah. What else? So yeah, just pretty much I there's so many TV spots. I'm loving it. Oh, I loved the 30-second thing. I love cuz we're seeing the Star Wars humor that I feel is a good Star Wars humor. So, you know, we're flying now. They're flying now. That's a great three also ways of delivering that line. First, you have the oh crap, they're flying now. You've got the Finn, you gotta be kidding me, they're flying now. And then you got Poe kind of like, yeah, they're flying now. It's interesting that that's kind of an almost a little acting thing where it's like the same line being delivered three different ways. And I don't understand the debate about the tracks. Like, I saw a great thing on Twitter where people were like showing other vehicles in the various Star Wars universe having tracks. Like, yes, I know we're in space, but maybe it's one of those things that it's cheaper to run. You know, have you ever thought about that? Hoverboards are difficult. I don't know. It's all pretend. But but no, I love that. And also I haven't again, I love when we see Rey doing the Jedi mind trick. I think like Finn and Poe look at each other go, has she ever done that to us? I love it. I'm like, yes. It's those little moments I cannot wait for. So I'm excited because that's something I kind of said this with my last episode with Lacey Gillerin. I think a lot of people sometimes don't. I could be wrong, so let me not put words in people's mouths. Some questions I think some circles address, but some don't. Is a lot of people like let's have a think. Finn didn't know Rey could even do this. Like she didn't even know like she grabbed the lightsaber because he was unconscious. So it's a lot to take in, and also has anyone thought maybe Rey doesn't want to be the face of the Resistance? And I think I'm hoping they touch on that, even if it's just a little bit in this final film, that it's like, sometimes people don't want to be the big hero, be the legacy, be the legend. Like, it's a big responsibility. And she saw what it did to Luke. Why would she want to, like, join in on that? But obviously, I'm interested in any direction they go. But yeah, so anyway, I'm bet there's gonna be some funny moments where, like, well, can't you just, like, make it come over? I could just see those two guys kind of giving her a hard time. I am really looking forward to seeing the dynamic and things. Oh, yes, the show with Lacey Gillerin was amazing because I like try to get kind of guests and like book schedules and things like months in advance. So I asked her like in September, and then in November, it got close, and I didn't even think it through about the Mandalorian because I knew they were going to do a show. Well, I didn't know at the time, but I knew they were going to do something extra. I did not realize just like how much around the clock stuff they were doing, and it was great. She like I said in Twitter, she didn't rush me or she didn't seem tired or I mean, she literally was just how you see her on the Resistance broadcast and I was a little I actually had got a little stage fright at first. But then by the end of it it felt like I was talking to a mate that I had known since high school and because I think we're very similar in a lot of ways. So it was really nice. And I mean I don't usually see genders with my co-pilots, but it was also kind of nice having a fellow lady co-pilot as well. But yeah, it was really good. And we could have continued talking for hours, but it was like 2 in the morning for my time. And I was like, yeah, I need to go to bed. Like, yeah, there's definitely some clever editing of me in there because I was gonna get a little tired, wee bit tired, but it was well, yeah. I mean, I'm always down to have Lacey on again. Like it was great. So, like I said, though, she's a very busy lady, but I'm excited to get John, one of the other the one of the other holy trinities in with Pisana and things. That's his planet of choice. So that'll be interesting. Trying to get some canon facts for that when we're not gonna know a lot, but yeah. So I think I'm trying to think if there's really kind of anything else to kind of wrap it up. But oh yeah, no, definitely. Like I said, I think kind of in like where I work, there's not at least an editorial. The last editorials I've been, there's not a big kind of gender divide. So yeah, I don't see a lot of kind of gender, but yeah, oh yeah, heck yes, Star Wars women are Star Wars fans too. Kind of to quote her when she was on Pete Fletcher's show, I think it's been embraced in the last 5-8 years as pop culture that it's okay to be female and enjoy stuff and do things like this and whatnot. So it's kind of nice because I will say probably when I was waiting in line for that Force Unleashed game about 12 years ago, I wouldn't have been like, yeah, I'm a massive Star Wars fan. To be fair, I wasn't as big of a Star Wars fan. I've always loved Star Wars, but not to the degree as I do now by making content about it. But yeah, that I don't know. What about you, everybody in the chat? Anything else you want to talk about before I head out, or I'm looking forward to episode 4. Oh yes, so 2020 kind of what's happening. So, like I said, we'll still keep doing these episodes. They'll also be kind of. I've started something called like Rebel Ramblings when there's something like very specific that's going to have a whole show dedicated to it. So, like, be it either like a book review or kind of like when we had the Triple Force Friday, doing a reaction to it, um, things like that. So, yeah, there's gonna be that. Like I said, maybe hopefully can start getting the cosplay kind of stuff going on. It's gonna be a lot of trial and error. You're gonna be with me in my journey of trying to figure out how to do this kind of stuff. So it's gonna be kind of a idiot's introduction into cosplay. Game streaming. I'm really hoping to I'm working on kind of getting the logistics, but my hope is maybe doing for charity, doing a game stream on May the 4th, and then also Revenge of the 5th. I don't think I could do a full 24-hour one because of my health, but if I could do like 12 hours on May the 4th and 12 hours on Revenge of the 5th, doing it for a cancer charity and things. But I will definitely keep you guys posted. Patreon will get to know it first and what's going on, but that's hopefully in the works, and that will be a big one. I want to be able to do giveaways. I wish I was a game changer, because then I'd be like, yes, I'd love to give out codes and things. By then I hope to have the Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker saga. I've never played a Lego game. I tried Jurassic World and struggled, but I think I think that would be a nice fun one to stream. So lots of definitely things in the pipeline, and of course patrons, you will find that out first, and then I will then release it to general public a few days later and things. But yes, Anthony is our patron, and actually, this is Anthony's planet of choice of Dantooine, which I was really appreciative of. I liked it. It was a bit of a different one. It wasn't one of the big mainstream ones and things, at least in my opinion. So it was cool to have something different. I think I'm going to start when I don't have a guest, so I'm not stealing like the name brand planets. I'm going to start bringing one in. I think like Nar Shaddaa, things like that. Kind of Dothamir, of course. I think Dothamir will probably be after I've done Jedi Fallen Order or something. I don't know, but I have lots and lots and lots of things. I would like to be a game changer, but I don't think I play enough. That's the thing. I'm so busy with the day job and with real life that I sadly don't think I am. Not quite there yet, but I'm definitely a good things come to, building from the ground up. Like, I'm so blessed to have this many people in chat where I didn't have this 6 months ago, so I'm so grateful to everybody and things. But yeah, so I'm just gonna kind of set things up here to say ta-ra. But yeah, I just wanted to say thank you, to all my American peeps. Happy Thanksgiving tomorrow. I don't know if I'll be doing anything because they obviously don't celebrate Thanksgiving here in England. So yeah, I don't know if I'll be doing anything like that. But so sometimes what I usually do in the past when I would do barbecue. That's how I would celebrate, because I'm a massive barbecue fan. I'm originally from Kansas City and things. So barbecue is like king in my family and things. But yeah, so that would be my closest to doing. Hopefully this is not gonna make the credits start. But yeah. Anyway, bonfire nights. Yes. Now that's kind of, I guess, like the English thing. So yeah, gotta that pretty much bonfire night's interesting. There's close to where I live, there's a town called Lewis, and they literally practically set the town on fire. There's so much, like, you can't even drive to it or get the train because it's all on fire. I would love to one time do a vlog or something to document it. It's insane. Like, Americans just, yeah, you wouldn't, it would blow your mind. But anyway, I wanted to say thank you for checking this out. Thank you to everybody that's been in chat. That is it for the kind of live stream episodes for Postcards from the Galaxy's Edge, or PCGE for short. You guys have been amazing. Thank you everybody that's coming in, and just I'm really looking forward to chatting to everybody with after after the Rise of Skywalker happens, and just I'm scared but excited. But yeah, with that, I will see you guys later. That's not what I wanted.